There we go. So I got something today, and I feel like you would appreciate it. So, I work two jobs. I work for my father-in-law doing pest control, and then around Christmas time, I picked up a second job just to kind of help pay for Christmas presents and everything else. Just trying to make sure I'm staying on top of
You're
everything.
a good dad.
I try sometimes. Uh, so there's this place down here called Second and Charles, which it's owned by Books a Million. It's
Mm,
basically collectible secondhand books, this, that, and the other thing. But I work in buyback. So basically, you bring in your stuff and we'll give you a price. If you want it, cool. We'll give you
yeah,
cash or store credit
right.
or, just whatever. So since I work in buyback, I have a tendency to see things before they actually go out onto the sales floor. And something came in last week that I would not allow out onto the sales floor because I wanted it that much.
Oh,
The Wolverine helmet came in too, but my boss wanted that one. So, but no, I picked this up. And since I get an employee discount, I got it for 30% off. So I only paid like 40 bucks. So,
hell yes.
so
Rob, great
you have
find, dude.
no idea how much I just want to wear this all the time, whether I'm at work or podcasting or really anything,
This is the
because
way.
this is the way. I just don't see any other way it could be.
I'm in love
Uh,
with this.
so am I. Just one moment and we'll start recording.
Good job, man. Good job. Good on you.
AKA Patrick McGee, AKA Hattie Rowdy. She is here to say hello to everybody because she's a dog that needs constant attention. Isn't that right? Yes, you are. It is a good dog who needs constant attention. Anyways, we're here to do the reissue. We are discussing a band that we did last year. I'll see you later. We did last season and in the first season as well. And God only knows if Coheed brings out more music, we'll probably talk about them again because it's Coheed and Cambria, and I love Coheed and Cambria. Uh, However, we needed dog. This is what the show becomes. Is like my dog just constantly needing for attention. That's okay. I still love. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. But let's get back on track, shall we? Honestly, I felt like Jordan did a great job with the last reissue episode last year. I felt like Joey did a great job during their first episode that we did of this band. But I felt like another voice needed to be had. And there was one person I know when we were discussing just randomly conversation came up and his love of Coheed and Cambria. And I felt like, you know what? This man needed to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the host of I have it written down. No, I don't. Maybe I did. I used to. Um I am so terrible at this hosting thing. I really am. Danny, it's the Super Science Adventure podcast, is that right?
That's right. Yes,
And
that's
he
right.
is also the guitarist and backing vocalist for the band Stop the Presses. It is Danny. Danny, welcome to the show again. You and your wife Allie were here for the Supernova wrap up, but this is your first solo adventure into First, Last, and Best. So,
Yeah.
welcome to the pod. And how you been? You doing good?
I've been quite well, dude. We're into the new year. I 2025 had some stuff happen, some family stuff happen. And you got to be able to recognize the good and the bad times. And 2023 and 2024 were like excellently fantabulous years for me, and 2025 was not as much.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to recognize all of those pluses and minuses, so that I maintain the look of life, how it goes. Life is life, dude. But you get them both. You get so on to the good things in 2026. I will say, admittedly, I did listen to the earlier episode the Coheed episode, which is your first episode, which is really
First episode
rad.
we ever did. That's
Um, Great listen, very fun, very entertaining, and I did get to hear the distinct shaking of a doggy collar uh, on that episode. So,
that was my first dog. No, not my first dog. My dog before this one. That was
mm,
Nemo. But unfortunately he passed away about 2 years ago.
yeah.
Hatterina came into our lives about a year and a half ago. Um, she's a nut job. We love her dearly, but she's a nut job. But
Love it.
yeah,
Okay,
no,
very cool.
my animals always have a tendency to make an appearance, except for my cat. I think my cat realizes that something's going on and wants nothing to do
Like,
with it.
or are you live? Sorry, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, pretty much like, no,
Yeah,
thank you, I'm fine.
yeah.
Like my constant need for attention is just solely focused on you guys. I don't need a camera in my face, please and thank you. So,
Uh,
so first and foremost, like when did you kind of discover Coheed? When did that start for you?
2003. It was in Keeping Secrets. That
Right.
record hit me so hard, like so fucking hard. And then I went back and did Turbine Blade, and then I was there kind of like anticipating and waiting for Good Apollo, and I bought it shrink wrapped, brand new, day one, all that stuff, which is really adorable. And I was with them through uh, to No World for Tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
uh, for the original Coheed and Cambria story, the actual, the
Yes.
story of Coheed and Cambria. Uh, And then, like I said, I kind of went into the world of ska and reggae, and I just not that I like, quote unquote, like stopped listening to prog, but it was just like I kind of stopped trying to keep up with things as much as as I had before. It's my fault, but and then I kind of like came in a couple of times just to kind of hear what they had come up with. And dude, I mean, like honestly, there's always the thing where you don't connect to albums as hard as you did, because depending on where you are in
Yeah.
your life. The Color Before the Sun, that was like my like, oh, okay, all right. But like I said, I hadn't been around. I went back and listened to the Aftermath stuff, around that
Yeah.
time, and I kind of like those more. Um, but it just for a minute there, um, felt like the band wasn't growing. And
Yeah.
I know that there is like, internal stuff behind that and also all these things. But like,
Stuff that
yeah,
happened with Mike Todd and Josh Shepard leaving, and then Josh Shepard
yeah,
coming back, and
yeah, exactly, dude. Losing a drummer, like, I mean, you losing a guitarist is hard, and like especially from like a songwriting standpoint and all this stuff, but like
oh
I
yeah,
feel like losing a drummer irrevocably changes a band forever. Like,
and the fact that they lost the entire rhythm section.
yeah,
I mean, I
uh,
know Josh left first, and Chris from Dillinger Escape Plan came in, and
yeah,
then all the insanity with Mike Todd, and then it's
right,
just like a brand new rhythm section, and then Chris leaves, and then Josh Shepard comes back.
right,
It's just it I think it is kind of telling that it feels like they kind of hit their stride again after Josh returned. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked Color Before the Sun. Well, I liked a couple
right,
songs off Color Before the Sun. I'm a huge fan of Atlas, but
right,
at the same time, like I discovered that song when it was just an acoustic version on YouTube,
yeah,
and at that point, also my son was just born, so it's kind of you know just how it is. Like I was able to connect with it very, very well, and then but then they turn into this new series where you have Vaxis and then you have Unheavenly Creatures and then the
mm,
Father of Make Believe,
right.
which it's just such an incredible,
It's a
like,
good record, man.
oh my God, dude. So I mentioned to you earlier that I work at Second and Charles. and this guy came in and he was just selling. Shout out Chris Drew, uh, with a Nerd Incentive. He brought in quite a lot of his records. Like he brought in, it was this amazing copy of "They're Only Chasing Safety" by Under Oath,
Hmm.
uh, Vaxis 2, some brand new "Fuck Jesse Lacey." Um,
Yeah.
and that honestly, at this point, anytime I just say brand new, I can't help but little tag at the end, "Fuck Jesse Lacey." Um, one of them was Vaxis, and I was like, "All right, this is not seeing the sales floor. I'm setting this to the side because I
Nice.
I needed that on vinyl."
Fuck
So
yeah.
hell yeah,
Probably sounds
dude,
amazing.
it's amazing, and that's kind of where like my re-entry into Coheed. Uh, yeah, well, I've been listening to him for a little bit, but Vaxis is where they kind of grabbed me again and pulled me back in. We're like, "Hey, you're gonna
Right.
listen now," which I truly wish that, like, I know the Amory Wars were a comic book and everything,
Right.
but I wish that there was just like a book that I could just read it. Because
Right.
like sometimes comic books, like I don't get me wrong, I love me some comics, but at the same time, sometimes it is a little much with the artistry and everything, and it's just kind of like, okay, this is cool, this is cool. Then I got to buy the next like 12,000 copies
Right.
in order to finish a story. Sometimes I just want a
Yeah.
good fucking
Well,
book.
well, I mean, especially with the way that all of this is put across, and this is one of the things that I have appreciated about this band forever is like the rush of it all. Like,
Yeah.
the band Rush, which is kind of long format storytelling, that I kind of see exactly what you're talking about is that the text is so rich and so dense that you actually do need to sit down and read
Yes.
a novel format of this to get the nuance that's across. And yeah, you get some of that in comic books, and I love a ton of graphic novels and all that stuff, but it is a, limiting medium. I get you. I see it.
So having like the Emery Wars or even like this story in just like novel format would be, I would buy it in a heartbeat, dude.
Yeah.
And oh my God, dude. It's just, oh, it just,
That's the,
there's only so much I can, maybe I'm just not as perceptive as others when it comes to like picking up details and lyrics and everything. But there's only so much that I can pick up in listening to these albums because a lot of times I am just listening to what is the bass line doing, like
right.
the guitar solos, like actually like the rise and fall of the actual music itself, that the content of the lyric don't exactly, it's like that takes a bit of a back seat for me. So it, which kind of sucks because Coheed is like one of those bands that is so great at telling stories that a
Yeah.
lot of times the stories are going like freaking like right over my head. So it
I don't
sucks.
even think that's just your fault. I mean, it's hard to pick up lyrics no matter what.
Yeah.
There's just they're being thrown at you. There's so much style, about how people sing their vowels and consonants and
Yeah.
use, syllables. All that stuff I think is like really hard to interpret. I miss, the jacket with the liner notes and the lyric sheets. But Coheed exactly for that reason lends itself to the old style of like listening where you have to listen 10 times to
Yeah.
like, okay, this time I'm going to listen to, through to the guitar, and then I'm going to listen through, for this instrument or that instrument. And dude, I appreciate these folks so much, especially on this record. Um, it kind of hits on all of the Coheed cylinders.
Agreed.
In the best way possible. I mean, honestly, it doesn't feel like they're repeating themselves. It actually feels like they're building. There's a lot of like melodies all over this record that are like longer melodies that kind of stretch over standard phrases, even phrases that they've used in the past, where it enriches the listening experience a lot. I'm kind of like drawn more to what's happening next in several songs
Yeah.
that happens, like in like Corner of My Confidence or like Yesterday's Lost, where like those softer songs are so good for that because they really rely on, kind of like pre-prescribed these are the soft verses, but then they're not. They're actually different each time, and they're longer than you expect them to
Yes.
be. And the melodies are written so well in those ways. It's there's good stuff all over this record. It's also an incredibly modern record. This record sounds like it was produced after the Turnstile record came out.
Yeah.
Where we're living in this kind of like new reality of using big pop stuff like those like quick stops, stutter stops, and
Yeah.
auto tune, delay, reverb, wash things that you would hear on like pop artist records that are used with like taste. But man, there's no shortage of riffs. I don't even know. I could go on and go on and go on and go on. This record caught me completely by surprise. I'm so happy we got to do this.
Dude, this I like going like stepping away from like the actual full discography and the whole this like relationship with Coheed and Cambria. This record in a vacuum does take me back to, and I love one thing that Coheed does that I've always been a fan of is the kind of subtle beginning to the album where it seems like the first track is always kind of like more of like almost like an introduction of a movie where
Yeah,
it's like building to it and then you get the second track. Well, this seemed to happen more on Good Apollo and after, especially No World for
right.
Tomorrow, and then when you're getting into Faxis and Unheavenly Creatures, where
Yeah.
it's like there's the second track is a little softer, builds a little bit, and then when you get into that third track, that's when it's like this big explosion of
Yeah.
fucking Coheed. This is Coheed and Cambria, and Searching for
Yeah.
Tomorrow does that. And that's the
Dude.
one thing I really do love about this album. The first five tracks like really kind of blend and build together
Yeah.
into this like operatic just insanity that is so inherently Coheed that I can't like if I have to sit somewhere and wait to get through these five tracks first before I even get out of my car if I'm driving somewhere. Like I have to because you just leaving in the middle of that, going from Yesterday's Lost to Goodbye Sunshine, Searching for Tomorrow, The Father of Make Believe. You have to stick it out because
Yeah.
otherwise it just feels kind of empty and you're turning off your car or you're just doing you have like oh I have to go do this now where you have to turn the music off. It's doesn't feel right to leave that at a
I
pausing
I
point.
agree. It honestly is put together like the A side of a record.
Yes.
That feels like tracks 1 through 5 of a vinyl record that you are gonna like experience and have to take the pause there. Which honestly, actually, I agree completely because Blindside Sunny is such a good like. I have notes on that song because it's like, dude, this far into your career, I'm so happy that they're not ignoring the big dumb screamy simple, angry song. It's got a monster riff. It's got like a real purpose for being there. And it's like mad, but it's short 2 minutes and 22 seconds. How many of their albums have a 2 minute song on them?
Not many.
Yeah, dude, just and
Even
I'm
like
like,
opening
okay,
tracks, no,
yeah,
there's
dude, that's
like barely any Coheed songs I can think of that are under
right.
like sub 3 to 4 minutes.
Right, exactly.
Those
And
are
this is a whole
short
song.
tracks.
It's not like an interact. It's not one of their orchestral sketches. It's a song and it's good and it's
Yeah.
loud and it's mad. And it is exactly like that. Like right after you ride that ride down, up and back down. Dude, I think it's like so hard for me. I think Searching for Tomorrow is my favorite song on this record. Uh,
That is a great shout. And I would have to agree with you. It's not I even I have fallen in love, especially recently, because they put out a video to it. One
right.
Last Miracle.
Yeah. It's a good song.
It's a great song. And I think that has to be probably my favorite on this album. Because which it's that's saying something considering the level. of consistency that they have on this album,
Yeah.
and just like the all around, like, Coheed kicked it. They brought it. Like,
They did it real, dude. And honestly, I had been listening to the first edition of it, the 14 track version of it for the
yeah.
most of the time. So I was kind of just stopping at the Continuum, and then it was like 2 days ago I realized that there was this
Yep. Yep.
the new entities edition, the deluxe edition
Yep.
that has this whole other thing to it, dude. And like
The
this,
key entity.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, Peter the Wishing ended up being another one of these. I was like, dude, these fucking people just like speak to me in this way that I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Uh,
100%.
this record, dude, and this is why even because I heard you guys talking about it, and In Keeping Secrets is my favorite. I know it's my first foray into them, but it does all of the things that it's supposed to do. There are to me as a songwriter, and this is why it's so the most important one to me, is that it is kind of, at least in the early days, the best of the hooks. The riffs are
Yes.
there, but there are anthemic vocal parts that are just unforgettable forever. And that, as a songwriter, I'm sorry, is like really the focus, dude. Like some people are going to, give you flowers for a ton of stuff. We just did that where we just went to Halloween here in New York at the Gutter, where a
Mm.
bunch of people did cover sets, and this friend of ours, or our background singer's friend did Lady Gaga, and the whole set was amazing. And but there was one song, it was the one of the new songs off of the record. The guitar riffs were incredible, and on that one song, I was the idiot who went up and like dabbed the guitarist, dude. And that's like, everybody's got the riff song or everybody's got that blah blah blah, but like the rest of the set was Lady Gaga because everybody loves the hook.
Mm.
And In Keeping Secrets has the hookiest hooks they've ever done.
100%, dude.
That are just nailing it without feeling like they've repeated themselves or anything like that.
Dude.
It was a big record for me, dude. But the hooks on this record, dude, in Goodbye Sunshine, that Mary of Mercy hook, dude.
Oh yeah.
That One Last Miracle hook is so damn infectious. Uh, they're great stuff all over this, dude. Even Yesterday's Lost, which I feel like is like that's the song I feel like I've heard before the most. If I'm like, like if I'm picking like and
Yeah.
I don't mean just from them. I mean like a song of loss in that way. I feel like it's like very hard to make original at this point. And but even that, um, that's just more from like the standpoint of the template of how do you sing about death, especially how do you sing of like the loss of a partner or the thought about the loss of a partner, and all this stuff. But like with that being said, the approach to it, the guitar work and more than anything, the melody is so beautiful, so haunting. Uh, and they do it all over the place. It's a
They
good
really
record.
do. This entire record is just like one thing after another, and I love it, dude. I like I to this day, I believe I mentioned it in the first episode that we did. In Keeping Secrets has been and probably always will be my favorite album that they've ever done, because
Yeah,
it is literally front to back some of the best work I think they've ever done, and that's saying something considering everything that they have put out. But probably my favorite thing was just that little bit of a change, because like, I started with Second Stage Turbine Blade. My friend Joey was the one who introduced me to Coheed and Cambria, and like it's all guitars, it's just the four of them, it works. But and in Keeping Secrets kind of kept up with that, but then you hit the light in the glass,
hmm
and this is like the early stages of, hey, yeah, we could do, you know, verse chorus bridge chorus end.
right.
But you know what? We got something else in the tank too. Yes, we can tell stories, but we can also tell stories in a different way. So this felt like the beginnings of what could be to something different, or that they're building to something different with their
Yeah.
music. And have you ever seen Claudio do the Light in the Glass live?
Only on YouTube. It's great.
Holy shit. Okay, so Warp Tour 1 year, Coheed was on the bill, except I think it was Travis and Josh were sick. So rumors were flying around the entire area that Coheed just weren't going to play. Instead, Claudio came out with an acoustic guitar, and this was right after Keeping Secrets came out. So like he did like their bigger songs and everything, but he ended with the light in the glass, playing it live and acoustically. And I just remember sitting there like completely floored because his voice is so powerful to begin with. And
Ugh,
just like his abilities are like on a level that I know I can never get to. As much as I practice and as much as I can try, he just Claudio alone exists on this level that's just like holy shit. It's I don't know what to say about it other than the fact that it might be one of my favorite songs ever played live,
I guess.
which is saying something.
Nice. That's beautiful, man. Those are the moments. That's what we're all
Yeah,
here for.
100%. So, so I really don't know what else we can say to continue gushing on this record
I
because
know we're being such fanboys right now.
I'm okay with it. That's the whole
Yeah.
point of this show. I just want to be a fanboy and enjoy shit because
Yeah.
life sucks right now, and this everything is just kind of hit the shitter. And every now and then, I just need to talk about something positive. Like, and music is one of the few things I got left. So fuck it. so,
That's real.
so you said in Keeping Secrets, that's what you consider their best work.
Yeah,
It would be
that's my
okay. All right. So I gotta ask, just because I do have to keep with the bit. Do you have a top three favorite songs Coheed has ever done?
um it so that's like dude, it's I can never answer this question for anything or anybody because it always, it's like,
It's
oh,
interchangeable.
this one, but oh no, my God, but this one, and then oh no, but really, like this one, and it's just like there's these things that pop up to me always, and it's like whether I'm like if I'm doing absolutely nothing related to Coheed and Cambria at all, whatever, like um Three Evils from
Ooh,
uh
yes.
In Keeping Secrets is just burned into my brain forever. That is, and it's like it wasn't a single.
Nope.
I mean, the singles on that record are incredible, but it wasn't a single. But it's just such good writing and storytelling and like really making the audience wait and want, like, oh my God, dude, that's probably like number one for me. Um,
Three Evils is a great song.
yeah, man. Uh, Dude, I know this is always so hard. Hold on, I had this written on my phone, and I'm like, I was trying to, like an idiot. I called you on my phone where I had all my notes, and it's like, oh, I'll just use my notes, and then I'll use my phone, and I'll have my notes in my hand, super simple. But it's like, then I'm using the same spoon for everything. Delirium Trigger is just a great song.
Yep.
It's just objectively riff machine. Like, what a good song, dude. I don't even know what else to say about it. Kind of like exactly what you said. Riffs all over it is good guitar work. It is
Mhm.
young. It is not like fully developed, and it's also like not. I'm sorry, man. I don't know how to say this. Because it's always kind of I love weird shit, but I also have a really strong pop sensibility. I
Yeah.
love weird shit, but it's like, it's like that Pink Floyd line. Pink Floyd is a weird band who is almost universally accessible to people. God, I butchered that read. Um, but you know what I'm saying. And like
I'm right there with you.
these guys hit it in Keeping Secrets and Good Apollo. Those were like stupid hard bang bang, and it was like whoa, hold on, like we weren't ready for all of that stuff. Um, and then I think the other one is going to be on I'm trying not to like specifically choose one from each one, but it's either going to be uh like I don't even know, like a Blood Red Summer,
Oh.
or something off of Good Apollo, but I feel like such an old man to be like, the records that came out when I was in high school are the best. Uh, but dude, they were that
They
I
were though.
also yeah, they were killer, and the story was so good, and I was so into the whole thing about it. It's
Yeah.
just good shit.
I mean, the first time we did this, let's see here, because I actually have it up. Um, I dropped the first episode because everything got erased off of Spotify and everything, so I had to re-upload
Oh
everything.
no.
So the first episode of First, Last, and Best actually aired September 22nd, 2021. That was now a little over 4 years ago, and my top three hasn't changed. I don't know why I'm so stuck on this. Number three was Derain, which they
Right.
wrote for Arkham City,
For yeah, which I
which
listened to it this week because I didn't know that, and it is rad.
it is such a great song. And the fact that it kind of splinters off, like Coheed and Cambria, other than like Color Before the Sun, everything has been like in service of a story, except for Color Before the Sun
Right.
and Derain. And but well, I mean, it's in service to a story, but not their story, not what they're creating. This is for Batman. And as a diehard Batman fan, I can appreciate that. Everything Evil is still probably like the best song to me. Maybe Neverender. Maybe those two are
Hmm.
kind of interchangeable to me. But maybe it's just because Everything Evil seen live, they just have that lovely, wonderful jam session like in the middle of it, like
Right.
during the bridge, which still to this day, my favorite version of that is when they did the Neverender series and they played that Devil in Jersey City and The Trooper, which is one of the hardest covers I've ever heard in my
Yeah,
life. That was so good.
it's
And then
monster.
it really is. And then,
Damn, I'd love to hear Claudio sing that.
oh my God, I would kill to see that live. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but still. But my number one always and has been Atlas since I've heard it. But I also have a very
Right.
emotional connection with that because I would
Yeah,
like
I
my.
heard that. That was very cute.
It's just I that song like the full band version is not quite my favorite,
Right.
but just it just takes me back to like when my son was much smaller and you know easier to carry around because dude he's my son is now 11, he's 4'7", he's 100 pounds, and he still likes to jump on my back. Like
Right.
I was crouched down cleaning something on the floor the other day and he just like jumps on my back and just like arms around my neck. I'm just like, oh God, I gotta squat this kid up and just like I'm like, nope, I don't like this at all. And I'm like, buddy, can you get off? He's like, no. I'm like, all right, I
Uh,
guess we're doing this then. Um, but yeah, dude, I mean, we're fanboying. There's no other way to
that's what
there's
we're
no
here for.
every this is our my third Coheed and Cambria episode, and the only other band that I can think of that I fanboyed this hard about is like doing the Wonder Years episodes. And
Right.
well, no, also interviewing you and Allie. I was just like,
Ah, that's
thank you
stupid.
guys for being here.
That's
I'm
so
not being
silly, man.
awkward, am I?
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
We are thankful to be anywhere people ask us to be. I yeah, like I mean, I like I said, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll listen to the new Coheed album. Fuck yeah!"
No,
And then it caught me completely by surprise. It
no
was
joke, dude.
it was strong and right from the beginning. Like I said, those I mean, exact. I really appreciate. I want to echo and say just exactly you hit it exactly right, dude. 1 through 5 on there is such a strong block and such a rise and crest, and then you get kind of make way into the second part of the record, and then kind of into the third part of the record. Um,
It's it's strong, dude. It
yeah.
really is. from
It
beginning to end. It is a strong, strong record,
caught me
and
surprised, caught me
it
totally by surprise.
it does make me wonder. I know like this series of the story. I'm not sure if this is the end of the trilogy or 'cause I think Unheavenly Creatures is almost like the prequel, the setup for it, and then Vaxis, and then Father of Make Believe, and I think the next album is supposed to be the ending to this arc.
Mm.
I think I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to look into that uh because I really don't want it to end. I want them to keep running with this because this is such a great series of albums that I don't want it to end. Oh my god, I am a nerd, and I'm okay with that. To be quite
That's
honest with you,
quite all right, man. What else are
yeah,
you gonna dedicate your time to?
like like actually caring about my job. Just kidding. I love my job. I don't think my father-in-law listens to this, but besides the point. No, but dude, seriously, this series of records is just something else completely. And if Claudio ever hears this, dude, please put out novel versions. I really need that in my life because I'm as I've gotten older, the comic books, dang
Yeah.
kids with their hipping and their hopping and
Uh, I gotta
oh,
say, man, it's like uh deep fantasy adventure is like erotic fiction for guys over 40. Uh,
yeah,
it just gets us going.
it really does. Holy shit. There's a hold on. Am I crazy? Or there's a novella for Vaxis too.
Oh,
Oh damn.
there you go.
I might have to look into that. Yeah, and there's another one for Unheavenly Creatures. Oh damn. I wonder if they're gonna do one for oh, it's sold out. Damn it.
Not
Well,
surprising
there's
at all.
there's one for the Unheavenly Creatures one isn't sold out, but the Vaxis Act 2,
Right.
that's sold out. Damn it. And they have like the comic books and everything, and even like the Prize Fighter Inferno one. Oh man. Which Prize Fighter Inferno, that's some pretty strong music right there too.
Right.
Sorry. I'm getting off
Yeah,
track. I'm getting really off track. Uh
absolutely.
so I think it can be it for the reissue. I mean, I think we've covered just about it.
The important stuff I
We
feel has come
we
up,
feel like we did a good job there.
except for
Uh
not talking about the weird word tetralogy.
I
Uh,
because I can't pronounce it.
yeah.
That's gonna be it for the reissue. We'll be back next week with a other episode. I believe that's gonna be the I think we're doing bands you should know next. With our friend Gary from Backyard Superheroes. Then we got another first, last, and best episode with Josh from Let's Ruin Our Lives. And then we'll be going into Women's History Month,
Ah,
where we will be discussing women who paved the way. Where I think Allie's coming on for that. I need to talk to her about it and see if she's still down.
sick.
And we're
Oh, she'll love that.
it's it that particular episode has started to grow to a point where I'm just like I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. But
Sounds like
we'll
you need a woman.
yes, I do. My wife. I'll give it to my wife, and maybe she'll be able to keep me on track. But Danny, thank you for coming on. Thank you again. I know we've talked about doing a first, last, and best episode coming up. Hopefully, we'll get that going in the spring, or we'll just record it sometime soon, and I'll put it out eventually. God
Word
only
dog
knows at this
whenever you
point.
want. Yeah, I'm here
Nice
for
man,
you.
Danny. I appreciate you.
Rob,
Seriously,
thank you,
dude,
man.
not a problem, dude. Tell everyone in the band I said hi. Tell Steve I said hi because that dude,
Yeah.
I miss that dude. He was so nice. So that's neither here nor there.
I miss that dude too. I haven't seen him since before the holidays. And
Oh no, that's sad.
dude, we all have the things. It's the best part
It's
of my
true.
band is that we're like never up each other's asses, but
Yeah.
as soon as we see each other, it's like no time has gone by. We really do enjoy
Yeah.
each other and miss each other like crazy. And then it's like then we're forced to spend 12 hours in a van together all of a sudden. So we have tons of time to catch up.
There we go. So,
Yeah.
for those of you who may have forgotten from the beginning of the episodes, Danny is from the band Stop the Presses out of Brooklyn, New York. One of the best reggae, ska, rocksteady bands that I've heard in the last 10 years. Absolutely tremendous band. Go check them out. They are on Spotify. They are on Apple Podcasts. They're not Apple Podcasts. I'm on Apple Podcasts. But you can basically find their music anywhere. They're on YouTube. Go check them out. They got shows coming up. They're going to be doing their mountain range tour coming up here soon, hopefully hitting the East Coast, especially down in Virginia, because I love you guys and I miss you. And at the same time, where can we find your podcast at?
On Apple Podcasts, yes, Super Science Adventure, the
Nice.
sci-fi movie podcast where we do a rating system points for some of the best and worst, sci-fi movies of all time. We have some really fun ones coming up. We're doing the 1998 Super Smash Spawn with Michael Jai White.
Oh,
It is, and I can preview this, the lowest we have rated a movie by a lot. It was a bloodbath.
it's awful and
Yes.
awesome at the same time.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
so
have you
wonderful.
done a Super Mario Brothers? The one with
No,
John Leguizamo?
that's a really good one too.
Oh
We're trying to
God,
bounce around, but that's maybe if we have you on, that'll be yours. I mean, if you want that to be
I
yours, I won't
I
be
I
held to
would
it.
be honored
The
because
hell yeah, that'll be
that
great.
movie was awful, but awful
In the
to a
best
point
way
where
in
in
the
the
best way
best way
possible.
possible.
Bring
So
me those plumbers.
okay. Yes, that is fantastic. All right, dude, Danny, thank you very much. And we'll see everybody next week with either Backyard Superheroes or Josh from Let's Ruin Our Lives. God only knows, who knows what's going to happen. I'm basically flying by the seat of my pants at this point. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a good day.